In a quiet, peaceful maze lived two mice, Sniff and Scurry, and two little people, Ham and Haw. Every day, they'd visit their cheese, a symbol of comfort, success, and happiness. It was their safe place, the one thing they could always rely on. One day, Sniff and Scurry sniffed the air and found a room filled with the finest cheese they'd ever seen. It was more than enough to last them forever. Ham and Haw, too, found this treasure and felt the same joy. "This is it," Haw said, his eyes lighting up. "We found our forever cheese," Ham agreed, and they both settled in, thinking it would never run out. But time passed. Sniff and Scurry, always alert, noticed something strange. The cheese was slowly disappearing. They started looking for new cheese, instinctively understanding that nothing stays the same forever. Ham and Haw, however, didn't see it. "We've got everything we need," Ham said with a confident smile. "This will last forever," Haw agreed. His eyes closed to the changes unfolding around them. Then one day, the cheese was gone. Completely gone. Ham and Haw stood frozen, in disbelief. The world they had known, their security, had vanished. How could this happen? Ham screamed, "It's not fair. We deserve this cheese." He sat down, feeling defeated, unable to move. "I can't leave. This is mine," Ham cried out, his voice breaking. Haw, too, felt the weight of loss. But deep down, a small voice inside him whispered, Maybe it's time to change." He hesitated, scared to leave the place that once gave him comfort. His heart ached, his mind filled with doubt. What if I fail? What if I can't find new cheese? But the thought of staying in the same place, stuck in fear, was worse. With trembling hands, Haw stood up. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he couldn't stay where everything had changed. "I have to face this fear," he whispered to himself. So, he stepped forward, into the unknown. "What if there's more out there for me?" he thought, trying to silence the doubts. Slowly, step by step, he moved through the maze, facing each challenge, his heart racing. And then, after what felt like an eternity, Haw found it. A new room, filled with the biggest, most beautiful cheese he had ever seen. He felt an overwhelming sense of relief, of joy, and of pride. "I did it. I took that first step, and it led me here," he whispered, his eyes glistening with tears. Haw, now filled with a new sense of purpose, went back to Ham. "You can do this too. You don't have to stay stuck. The cheese you want is out there, but you have to be willing to leave behind what no longer serves you." But Ham, still holding on, shook his head. "I can't," he whispered, his voice small and broken. "I've lost too much already." And Haw understood. Not everyone is ready for change. Some people will stay stuck, and some will step forward. But what Haw realized was this: the only way to find new cheese, to find new hope, is to embrace the unknown. Change isn't easy, but it's the only way forward. As Haw stood in the room of new cheese, he realized that sometimes the hardest part isn't the change itself. It's having the courage to move when everything inside you is screaming to stay the same. And that, in itself, was the most beautiful discovery of all. Change is hard, but it's through change that we grow. Don't wait for the world to change for you. Embrace the fear, take the first step, and find your new cheese. The journey may be tough, but it will always lead you to something greater than you imagined.